Hey guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows. This is the fourth part in the self-care series that I had started. And during that time, I needed a little time to just do a little self-care to myself and make sure that I was doing what I needed to in the family. So I didn't get back and do this video. But I had said in the video, we were talking about not trying to escape the life you have and making the life that you have something that you enjoy. And that you might add things to, like a day out with a friend or something, as an occasional boost for yourself, but not something, if I don't get that, I'm not able to function, or I give myself the ability to be a jerk to everybody around me. I know that there are a lot of women who suffer from issues during the time of their cycle every month, and I'm not saying that those aren't real issues, because I understand them. I understand wanting to just lay in bed and curl up, but it doesn't give us an excuse to not be kind to the people around us, to not be loving to the people around us, and to do the things that we need to do. So we need to find ways to feel rejuvenated in the life that we have. So I had talked about the things that I need to do every day to make myself be able to function as a person. And we had talked about making sure Bible was part of my day, making sure that I was educating my kids, making sure I was getting food on the table for everybody, and making sure that we had a clean, safe house environment to live in. And so these things are all things that sometimes go by the wayside. Like the day that I was in labor with him, we talked about the Bible a couple times while I was in labor, but we didn't sit down and have a full-on Bible study that day. I was thinking of a lot of other things. It wasn't that God wasn't part of my day, but I did not have the time to sit down and open my Bible that day. When I was in labor, I also didn't educate my children that day, and I wasn't worried about what food they ate. That was all on somebody else. And I didn't clean my house. But those are all things that should be happening on a daily basis to make myself feel sane and to feel secure that I'm doing the things God would want me to do. And your list may look a little different. If you don't have children, it's not going to be educating your children being on the list. So this is just how I do it so that I can live a life that is functional for me. So the cleaning the house, I just try to make sure that I'm doing the things that keep the house running on a daily basis and add to it on the days that I can. So to keep the house functional, I need to make sure laundry gets done. If we don't have laundry, we don't have clothes to wear, and that makes everybody just in pajamas. And when I'm in pajamas for the day, I definitely don't get as much done. I tend to sit around and not do as much. And that might not be how you do it, but that's how I feel. I know there are people who get dressed all the way to their shoes for the day to make them feel like they can get stuff done. I don't wear shoes in the house. So things might look a little different for people, but making sure that my family has laundry that they can easily access is important to me. So the way that we function in our family with that is I put one of the kids in charge of changing the stuff from the washer to the dryer. Right now it's our 9-year-old. The chore gets changed as people grow up, but the littles will help collect laundry in the morning usually. If they're busy doing something, I sometimes have the 9-year-old, Samuel, go and get those things. So this is just how our schedule runs right now. The littles will occasionally help get the stuff in the morning from the dirty clothes piles, take them to the laundry room. Samuel's in charge of washing laundry, switching it to the dryer, and then getting the stuff out of the dryer into baskets. If the laundry just stays in a basket, it usually doesn't, but if it just stays in a basket, I am okay with that because there is laundry available for people to wear. Usually every day or every other day, the kids will listen to an audio drama like Adventures in Odyssey or Down Gilead Lane or Jonathan Park, and we'll fold laundry and then help put it away. And that's usually the 3 older kids with the littles taking some turns doing some washcloths and things. My 7-year-old has cerebral palsy and has the use of one hand. So my 7-year-olds are usually helping fold laundry also, but in this stage of life, he isn't able to do as much. So I make sure that laundry gets done, and we have a system in place for how that works. Maybe you need to have a system where you do laundry 1 day a week, or each of your kids has an assigned laundry day. But you'll never be able to stay on top of laundry if you don't have a system of when you're going to do it in your daily life. Because I know it just gets behind when you don't have a plan. So, just gotta move the baby. He's sliding down. I know. Another thing that I really make sure gets done in the house is dishes. Nobody wants to cook in a messy kitchen. So I try to get them done. They don't get done every meal necessarily, but that is the goal, to get them done every meal. And for right now in our house, Mark's doing it because Mark's home and it's a task he can do. There are a lot of things that he can't do on a daily basis or be consistent about doing, but dishes are something he can do. So that's why they sometimes go from meal to meal. Like if we don't have many at breakfast, we might hold them over till lunchtime and do all of them then. But again, we have a system in place. We have a plan of how the dishes are going to get done. Beds usually get made because the kids, I'll tell them, hey, go make a bed when I'm looking for them to have something to do. If they're not playing nicely, or I'm trying to keep one busy while I have the other doing something, I'll have them make beds. But in our house, I don't feel bed making is the most important skill. Not skill, but the most important thing to get done in the day. Maybe in your house, that's really important. So again, this is just a challenge to put systems in place so that you have a plan moving forward of how you're going to make sure that your house is livable. I said that these are the things I do every day. So I make sure laundry gets done. We make sure that we stay caught up on dishes. Like I said, maybe not every meal, but the other things like making beds are things that happen most days. And then on the days that we have a lot of energy or we have a free afternoon at home, we'll do other things like the vacuuming the floors. I don't have a schedule for myself. We only have a few rooms that have carpeting. I don't have a schedule of when that happens, but we do sweep a lot more regularly because we have a lot of wood and tile floor in the main part of the house. We also will about once a week do some deep cleaning projects of cleaning out some cupboards or washing down doors. It changes every day when we do those deep cleaning projects, but just putting a plan in place. So please share in the comments how you do that at your house so that we can all encourage each other to glorify God in all the things we do and say. Thank you for joining Herding Little Cows.